Then, with just 30 seconds remaining in regulation, homegrown Greg Thompson took a Jan Goosen service to score the game winner, sending a record-breaking crowd into a deafening frenzy. Minnesota takes a 3-1 lead into tonight's game number 5. A very pleasant good evening and welcome back to the San Diego Sports Arena. I'm Dick Calvert alongside striker goalkeeper Matt Kennedy. It'll be our pleasure to bring you all the action of tonight's game number 5 of the best of 7 for the MISL Cup. Now coming up, we'll have head coach Alan Merrick for a visit. We'll have that next, so stay with us. In the state of Minnesota, the architect of this story involves himself in indoor soccer. Head coach Alan Merrick, if you were to think back about a few months from now, could you believe that you and your Minnesota Strikers would have a 3-1 lead over the reigning champions going into game number 5 for the MISL Cup?
Well, we didn't know whether it would be San Diego or another team. We thought we were good enough to get into the finals. We set that goal and objective at the start of the season. We deserve it of being in this position, and San Diego is a worthy opposition as well.
Let's get down to the serious business now, tonight's game. Are you going to dance with the girl what brung you?
Very much so, yeah. We're not going to change anything. We've worked hard to get this far, and we've set up our style and pattern over a lot of games, and we're going to continue in that vein. We're not going to change.
A lot of words have been thrown around in the press, mostly from the other side. They seem to be a little in disarray here in San Diego. Does that bother you in any way?
We hope to take full advantage of that. They seem to have players who want to play high pressure, and then another part of the camp wants to play high possession soccer. We don't care how they play. It all boils down to the way that we set out our pattern of play and how we play ourselves.
What about your goalkeeper? Is he overworked?
No. He's just about getting the right amount of work. He thrives on it. He's resilient, and he'll be up for it tonight.
Alan Merrick, best of luck.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be back with the opening lineups and, of course, the kickoff of this game number 5 for the MISL Cup. For the MISL Championship and the coveted Cup. That cup belongs to the San Diego Sockers, but the Minnesota Strikers holding a 3-1 lead in this best-of-7 series. And here we are, all set to go in this game number 5 as we take a look at Alan Merrick's Minnesota Strikers. You can take a look at the goal against average on the regular season for the Minnesota Strikers. Now, it's a respectable 4.86. However, during the playoffs, the team defense of the Minnesota Strikers has been phenomenal, and you can see how that goal against average has taken a plummeted dive down to 3.32. Credit Tino Laturi in the goal. He'll start there again tonight. The defenders in front of him, but an all-out team effort. And again, I emphasize team defense. Glad to have you join us here on TV 29 as we take a look at the coach of the defending San Diego Sockers. At an amazing stat, only 6 goals in the last 3 games. And again, we point to the Minnesota Strikers' ability to team defend the defending champion. And as I started to say, we welcome you back on TV 29. There's Jimmy Gorsuch and Matt Kennedy. He is one of 2 outstanding keepers. He'll get the start tonight.
He sure is. Jim Gorsuch has done well for the Sockers, and they alternate, so this is his night. And I'm sure he's really pumped up for it.
And what can you say about that guy right there, the Birdman of Bloomington?
Tino's a great goalkeeper. He's had a superb playoff series, and especially here against the San Diego Sockers, he's done excellent.
And when Tino was introduced here tonight with the teams taking the floor, he was introduced to a rounding array of boos. And we are underway with Tino Laturi on the far left-hand side of your Channel 29 screen. On the right, Jim Gorsuch starting for the San Diego Sockers. That's Hugo Perez. He'll take the first shot and dump it into the seats. He'll start up in front with Gene Wilrich and Bronco Segota. The 2 defenders are Kevin Crow and Fernando Clavijo. Starting for the Minnesota Strikers in front of Tino Laturi will be Dwight Lodevegas, playing with a little bit of a sore ankle. 15 playoff wins, 3rd all-time in the MISL. You can go on and on and on about Tino Laturi. And he's got quite a group in front of him. Like we said, Dwight Lodevegas walking the ball up. In midfield will be Ray Hudson, Rocky Ray in midfield, up front Alan Willie, and Jan Goosen. We're just underway in this, the 5th game. And before we go any further, as we said, a story is developing with Minnesota, the Minnesota Strikers, the Twin Cities in the state of Minnesota. And all of you folks out there, I applaud you for those outstanding crowds at the Met Center last Friday and Sunday. Wow, that was tremendous. I had a chance to see it on satellite. You guys were great. But here we go. We got a good crowd in here at the Sports Arena tonight. San Diego with the ball. Sparkling Bakery display cases. We can take a look at that ball that Gary Etherington got to. Look at this.
Tino tried to make the save on the near boards. It got behind him, went off his back, nearly rolled into the goal, but Gary Etherington made a great save to kick it away from the forward.
The San Diego attacker right there to put that ball home, and Etherington, as he did in game number 2, took it off the line. Inside 8 minutes to go in the first period, and still no score in this one. There's the team fouls, 4 on the Strikers and 2 on the Sockers. So the Strikers have 1 to play with before they're in jeopardy. This is Brian Quinn now, loose along the near board side. Sends it in the back of the net, and a goal, and it'll be credited. No goal, no goal. They're waving it off. I was just about to say they'll credit that goal to Hugo Perez, but Bill Maxwell, as you can see him right there in your screen, calling the foul on Hugo Perez. It'll be a free kick. We'll take another look at this one, and you determine how it happened.
Brian Quinn rings the ball around the boards, which is a dangerous ball. Tino went down to play it. Perez pushed him from the back, was unable to make a play on the ball, therefore the goal is disallowed.
Hugo Perez pushing down Tino Lettieri, allowing that ball to go into the back of the net. And Bill Maxwell, the man on the scene, calling the penalties. Minnesota's power play, a very respectable 35.5 in the playoffs. Jan Goosen's on now, so again, it's a power play, but you go up a man for each team. It's 5v4 now with Minnesota in a power play. No score. We're in the first period. 1:45 to go. Shot taken. Loose ball right in front of Gorsuch's crease. We'll correct that now. As the Strikers, as you well know, scored 4 power plays in game number 2. Segota picked out in front by Jan Goossens, and the ball is kicked upstairs by Fernando Clavijo. At game number 2, went to the Minnesota Strikers and broke that long-standing home winning streak for San Diego during the playoffs of 26 straight. That was a 6-1 verdict in favor of the Strikers. Game number 1, if we want to recall, went to San Diego 7-2, their only win in this series. Game number 3 went 7-2 in the Met Center to the Strikers, and 4-3 to the Strikers just this past Sunday night. 25 seconds remain in the penalty for too many fouls on San Diego. Byrne is out on top. He's a trigger man. Left wing, Loda Vegas. Inside, Dangerfield and Willie. And the right wing right there is Jan Goossens. Jacques Radisseur out with the no-goal patrol of Clavijo. There's a header right at Gorsuch, and he has to take both hands to save it. Inside, Willie turns, shoots, blocked, and punched up and over the glass by Jimmy Gorsuch.
In the replay here, the ball comes off the boards. David Byrne takes a shot, controlled by Alan Willie, turns and hits it first time with a great save by Jimmy Gorsuch.
And both teams now return to equal strength. They're playing 5-a-side now here in the Sports Arena with 1:03 to go in the first period. The fans react to the no-goal patrol, killing off that assortment of penalties and 2 man-down situations. You're watching Minnesota Striker action on KITN TV 29, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and thanks for joining us here on Channel 29. No score in this one. An up-and-down game that's been pretty physical to this point. Gino DiPolito and Bill Maxwell, the 2 officials, have let these guys play. San Diego did score a goal, but it was disallowed on a pushing foul by Hugo Perez. Now a restart for Minnesota. Tasso Katsukas trying to cross inside to Tomo Yusian. And he pulls it back to Gary Etherington in center, and they dump it right back into the San Diego zone along the near board side down in the corner, where Fernando Clavijo will pick it up there. Fernando Clavijo joins Kim Runtvent as the 2 defenders on the recently announced MISL All-Select team. Tino Lettieri comes out. Dumps it high into center where it's headed down by Gary Collier to Hugo Perez. Perez, nice cross-field pass level to Fernando Clavijo, who tries to play Bronco Segota and play Bronco's rebound shot off the wall. And the ball comes out too tall for Fernando. Tino's long distribution goes all the way down into the San Diego third. The defenders on the #1 team, the first team in the MISL just recently released, Fernando Clavijo of San Diego and Kim Rundgren of the Wichita Wings, and we'll give you the rest later as the first period comes to an end. So here at the San Diego Sports Arena, no score after 15 minutes. Stay with us. This is going to be a dance. Games were decided by 5 goals, so in theory, so far you could say this looks like a low-scoring affair, but who knows when these two teams hook up. A tremendous rivalry brewing between these two teams. A foul called on Gary Etherington in the center as he knocks down Hugo Perez. But I remind you once again, a big thank you to Super America Stores for providing an opportunity for you to see this game live from the San Diego Sports Arena. Julie V now post up, turns, shoots, scores!
Here we see Joey V posting up, a great ball into his feet, one touch, turns, and hits the ball just by Tino Lettieri inside the post. What a great goal by Joey V.
The salute of the V, and that is indeed vintage Julie V as he turned, wheeled, and dealed. Both teams battling through the first 15 minutes of this contest scoreless at 29 seconds in to this period #2. V from Collier at 29 seconds, V's second goal. Down. Here comes a 3-on-1 breakaway. Hermes, Wilrich, Segota, Wilrich, poke checked away by Gary Etherington. And Gary the other way for Alan Willie. Tackled off the ball neatly by the quick, elusive Fernando Clavijo. Back to Wilrich. End-to-end action. Force touch on Namdar. Goal. Another look at Cha-Cha Namdar. Watch the run.
So the ball's placed through. Cha-Cha comes off the bench off a substitution, places the ball up high over Tino Lettieri. Another great goal by San Diego. And that's when at their most dangerous, when they're running and playing on the fly.
When they can come off the bench on those defensive changes and offensive possession changes, they bring their quick little guys off the bench and they counterattack so effectively. Something that they have not done in the 4 previous games except for game #1 here in San Diego. And a save by Lettieri. One hand up at the crossbar. 2-0 San Diego as Cha-Cha Namdar scores from Gene Wilrich at 6:52. And we've got a timeout here at the San Diego Sports Arena. And Namdar, the goal scorers for the San Diego Sockers. They trail the Minnesota Strikers 3-1. Wilrich leaving it for Segota. Segota's shot hits the post. That's 2 shots against 2 posts. And ironically, the same right post in the last 2 times down the floor. Here's Wilrich, and here's a goal. So Minnesota getting mixed up with the ball being knocked around their penalty area. Tino was out. The shot was taken, and we'll take another look at it.
There's a great, this is the shot by Bronco Segota. Tino screened on the play there. The ball squeaked through, and Hugo just knocked the ball into the empty net.
And a little action, unnecessary action, I must say, between Tino Lettieri and Hugo Perez. So 3-0 here with 4:18 to go in the first half. Tino Lettieri has seen his goal dented on 3 occasions. First by V, then by Namdar, and they give that goal to Wilrich from Segota. It comes at 10:42. Setting up somebody in the box. Over comes Ray Hudson against Gary Collier, and Collier will win the ball and get it back to his keeper at the buzzer. So as the first half comes to an end here at the San Diego Sports Arena and Game 5 of the Best of 7 MISL Championship, the San Diego Sockers leading the Minnesota Strikers by a score of 3-hand side. I make that the left-hand side now as the teams have flip-flopped. And on the right-hand side, Jim Gorsick. So far, Gorsick has thrown a horse collar around the Minnesota Strikers. Jim Gorsick returning to the form that saw him during the regular season, Matt.
Sure, he's playing really well. He's come up with 4 or 5 key saves that have definitely been goal-scoring opportunities for the Strikers.
And Tino Lettieri on the other end as he fields the ball and chips it into center has Alan Hudson along with Ray Hudson along with Alan Willie, Jan Goosens, Dwight Lodevegas, and Kenny Fogarty. Minnesota quickly gets into the attack into the San Diego zone. That's Lodevegas blocked out in front by Bronco Segota. Kevin Crow goes after the loose ball with Lodevegas, and the ball comes out to San Diego. Gene Wilrich, a goal scorer in this game, dumps it for Segota, held up momentarily by Ray Hudson. That's Segota over in the far corner to Wilrich. He uses the glass, comes out to Hugo Perez. That's his strong foot, the left foot of Hugo Perez. Alan Willie now heeling it back. Ray Hudson will come off, as will Willie, but Ray has to field the ball. Almost an illegal change there. Here goes Tasso Katsoukas. Out sliding comes Jim Gorsick. Oh, Minnesota was almost involved in an illegal change and too many men on the field, and that's what the fans were up in arms about. Here's Segota trying to load it up. Nice retreat by Dwight Lodevegas to pick up that ball off of Segota. To remind you, you're watching Minnesota Striker action on KITN TV 29, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Now we get a foul on San Diego, their second of this period. We're just underway here in the third period. Second half of play, 13:17 to go in the third stanza. Greg Thompson now, he'll send it in looking for David Byrne. The ball comes out, and San Diego has it. Up the left wing goes Brian Quinn. He's double teamed by Thompson, Musean, and Greg Thompson, and the ball is filtered all the way back to Tino Lettieri. Out to David Byrne. He'll get back behind his own red line, turn and come out with it now as both teams get their floor shake. Alan Willie turning on Gary Collier. Loose ball, far board side. David Byrne now to Thompson Musean in the center circle. The San Diego Sockers logo out there. Etherington from the right point sends it against the glass. Rebound too tall for Alan Willie. Cleared off by Collier. He's got Quinn. Quinn trying to chip Tino Lettieri, and Tino Lettieri up pulling that ball. So goal kick. That makes it easy for Jim Gorsick. A minute 42 seconds to go on Hugo Perez's penalty. 11:52 to go here in the third period. Gorsick finds himself leading 3-0. It's Bill Maxwell showing Gorsick where to spot that ball. A happy birthday passed along to Lynn Smith by San Diego's Wad Hermes on her 20th. And Tories say hi to the family in Minnesota by Steve Peterson. So a lot of Minnesota people here. Here's a loose ball. Alan Willie's goal! A power play goal for Minnesota's Alan Willie, and deja vu. It was Alan Willie the other night in Game 4 from Jan Goosens for the first Minnesota goal, and it has happened once again. Alan Willie coming into this game with 12 goals. That's number 13, a power play goal.
A little defensive misunderstanding here. The goalkeeper and the defender get caught up. Chris Dangerfield closes down the ball. Allen blasts the ball with his left foot into the open net. A great goal, actually.
Alan Willie playing with that very tender, hyperextended knee, but that's his right knee. That goal was scored with the left foot. So it's 3-1 here in the third period as the San Diego Sockers kick off. Egg Thompson. Super America's sparkling bakery display cases. Oh, yes. Here's San Diego now. Addie Coker gets around Lettieri. Down goes Coker. 2-minute penalty on Lettieri. So, after Minnesota scores a power play goal to bring the score 3-1. Now we have a tripping foul on Tino Lettieri, and you can see this one for yourself.
Coker breaks away. Tino tries to come out to cut the angle. I don't even think Tino touched him. I mean, but Addie Coker's known for his diving, and the referee was right on top of the play. He would know better, and he calls a 2-minute penalty against Tino Lettieri.
And I'm sure that with all the controversy and everything that has been going on in the San Diego Sockers, that 2-minute penalty is going to be called no matter what. Now you have
a shootout opportunity for the
shootout opportunity. They felt, in the opinion of the referees, both DePolito and Maxwell, they felt that the attacker, Addie Coker, was free on a chance on goal and would have an opportunity to take it in against Tino Lettieri, and Lettieri prohibited that attempt. So like in game number 2 here in San Diego, there will be a shootout attempt, but this time it'll be the San Diego Sockers with the shootout attempt. This will be a one-on-one. It'll be Tino Lettieri against the attacker. Now, Addie Coker was the man taken down, but the shootout will be taken by Bronco Segota. Ron Newman there as he gives Jimmy Gorsuch a respite. All the players are back to their respective benches with the exception of the attacker, who will put it down at the red line on the spot, and of course the goalkeeper Tino Lettieri. Now it's up to Lettieri to try and stop this shootout attack. Now the attacker must release that ball and score within 5 seconds.
And he can take as many shots as he can in that 5-second period, too.
Absolutely. He can come off the keeper and what have you. Now, they'll have to put a man in the box, and they do. They put Fogarty in there. Now, what's really interesting is that both Tino Lettieri and Bronco Segota are on the Canadian World Cup team as teammates. And here they find themselves in a very heated situation, game number 5 of the MISL playoffs. So, Bronco Segota, Tino Lettieri, and it's a one-on-one contest. We're going to let the pitchers do the talking. You watch for yourself. Well, you can see what happened. Bronco Segota coming right down the middle. Lettieri came out, blocks him. Lettieri retreats. The ball goes out. Segota still had time, as Matt alluded to, but time did elapse, and the 5 seconds were up, and you can take another look at it.
On the replay, Tino comes out, closes the angle well. Bronco tries to go the 5-hole if you're a hockey fan, or between the legs if you're a soccer fan, and Tino makes a great save. And the ball goes out of play, and Bronco can't get a second shot off.
However, it is now a power play situation for the walk in, but he dumps it down in the corner to Hermes. Takes it right back, and the ball's behind him on the return from Hermes. Wad Hermes with a whole fistful of power play goals in the playoffs. Here's Wad Hermes again, hits the post and scores.
No goal. Referee disallows the goal.
Hold everything here. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Is it a goal? And they're going to get a blue card, which is 2 minutes, against somebody in that fracas in front of the goal. So tempers are overshadowing the play right now, as Gino DePolito, I believe, has blue carded, and now a yellow card against the San Diego Sockers' Addie Coker. But I think the power play goal by Wad Hermes will stand. Wad Hermes coming in is tied with Jan Goossens and Peter Ward of Cleveland with 5 power play goals. The goal will be credited to Wad Hermes on the power play, and Addie Coker will go into the penalty box for 2 minutes, and it'll be a power play for the Minnesota Strikers. Take a look.
Here on the replay, Waddy Hermes hits a great left-footed shot. Screen with Tino Lettieri off the post and in. It was a great shot. You can't complain about that.
And there, Addie Coker again trying to draw the ire of Tino Lettieri. Ran into him after the ball was in the back of the net. So Coker was in there chipping. I'll tell you, there's a lot of chipping the ball, and brings it back out. So Vernon Lodovegas, Goossens, Dangerfield, and Willie come back on the power play attack. Brian Quinn, Chacha Namdar, Clavijo, and Crow. 4-1 is our score. 7:50 to go here in period number 3 in a game that's really has everything so far. This is an incredible series. David Byrne now looking for that little bit of room, that little slot that he can jam one into Alan Willie inside. Goosens for Willie. Look out, Lodovegas shot, goal! Hang your clothes on that one. A blue darter from the left foot of all-star Dwight Lodovegas, and it's halved again. 4-2 here at the San Diego Sports Arena as Jim Gorsuch wants a timeout. Watch this blur.
Replay. Jan Goosens plays the ball square across the box. Dushy hits it first time, just a BB in the upper left-hand corner. Gorsuch had no chance for that. What a great goal.
7 minutes, 30 seconds remain here in period number 3 in a game that had everything for you so far, and there's a lot to go. 4-2 is our score. The Sockers leading the Strikers. Playoffs doing a marvelous job so far this evening. On the year, Jimmy Gorsuch had a brilliant 3.72 goal against average as Minnesota puts the heat on once again. Gorsuch was 19-2 during the regular season. He's 3-3 in the playoffs. Katsoukas and Brian Quinn really working hard in the corner down there. Foul is called. Foul number 4 now on the Strikers with 18 seconds to go. So 17 seconds and counting is all that's left to try to draw that 6th and final foul out of San Diego. Now Brian make that. Bronco Segota tries to go through, and the ball back to Tino Lettieri. Loose in center for Brian Quinn. 2 seconds, and that'll be the end of the 3rd period here at the San Diego Sports Arena. After 3/4 of this game is in the books, the San Diego Sockers holding a 2-goal lead. They lead the Minnesota Strikers. Now, in the event that there is game number 6, and it appears now that it very possibly may happen Friday night at the Met Center, tickets for Friday night's game can be purchased tomorrow at 8:30. You want to be a part of this madness, which is the MISL playoff. Tickets available starting at 8:30 at the Met Center, the Strikers office, and at all Dayton's department stores. And there's a number that you can call to be a part of this tremendous story that's building in the Twin Cities area. San Diego's not going to lay down. San Diego's going to make a series out of it. Coming into this arena for Game 5, trailing 3-1. They have met the challenge of the Minnesota Strikers, at least to this point, with 2 minutes to go in this contest. Now, David Byrne, as Matt alluded, is in the 6th attack goalkeeping strip. He's on with Jan Goosens. Shot by Goosens up above the crossbar, off the glass. Kept alive by Musean and Lodovegas. That's Jacques Ladouceur working against Lodovegas. Near board side, squared on the far board side to Jan Goosens. A lot of perimeter snipers out there for the Minnesota Strikers. Goosens with a strong right peg. Sends it in. Blocked by Clavillo. Taken out by Jacques Ladouceur. Open net for Segota. Will he score? Yes. Bronco Segota finally scores a goal against the Minnesota Strikers, his 11th of the playoff, and it was an open net against the 6th attack as Byrne tries to get back.
Jacques Ladouceur breaks out, sees Bronco wide open, plays the ball in front of him. Bronco runs onto it, takes one touch, and just plays it past David Byrne into the open goal.
All right, you have a job to do up there in Minnesota now. A minute 25 to go in this one, 7-3. Sockers on their way to a victory here in Game 5. These two teams will return to the Met Center Friday night. 7:30 is the kickoff, and you want to be a part of it. Shot by Dwight Lodovegas over the top of George Katakalitis, who has seen very little action tonight. And I don't know if George is hurt. He is not listed as being hurt, but this is his first shift in some time. And the ball goes out to a goal kick by Jimmy Gorsuch. Hugo Perez was taken off the field with an injured leg on a trip by David Byrne. And we have a change in both lines now, so that is why Katakalitis is on in place of the injured Perez, playing with Jacques Ladouceur, Bronco Segota, Brian Schmetzer, and Crow. Katakalitis, normally a defender, is playing in a midfield position in place of the injured Hugo Perez. Remember, a 6th attack. Hasbik Tamby working at the back now, trying to support David Byrne, along with Gary Etherington, Ray Hudson, Mike Jeffries, and Danny Canteron. Alan Merrick resting his front 2 lines. Here's Segota again, trips over the ball. Falls into Bill Irwin. Strikers with inside a minute to go, trying to pull another goal back. Still letting it all hang out. There's Kazbek Tambi setting up Mike Jeffries, crossing the mouth of Jimmy Gorsuch's goal. And it comes out to Segota. A foul is called on the play, however, stopping play. A foul against Bronco Segota. Quickly, Etherington against Crow. Ricochet comes out to David Byrne. He walks around, sends one in goal, and it'll come off of Kazbek Tambi. David Byrne on the crease, on the doorstep of Jimmy Gorsuch's goal. Kazbek Tambi there to put it home, and it's 7-4. But there is only 31 seconds left. So I repeat, you have a job to do up in Minnesota as we take a second look at this fourth goal by the Minnesota Strikers. Get out, get your tickets, be a part of game number 6, Friday night at the Met Center. 7:30, you don't want to be one standing. Get a seat at the Met Center. Remember, the Met Center's capacity, 15,499. The last 2 games drew many hundreds over that capacity. Tambi at 14:29 of the fourth period, his first of the playoffs. And it certainly sets the stage for game number 6. Long ball played down. Here's Cantor trying to get the ball away from Wilrich. Wilrich with 14 seconds feeds it into the neutral zone up on the right wing side for Quinn. He opens up V. David Byrne is back. V won't shoot. He'll lay it back. V not looking to rub anything in. The ball will be volleyed in the air at the buzzer. And that'll do it. Here in game number 5 in the best of 7. The Minnesota Strikers, the San Diego Sockers, not too terribly enamored with each other. These two teams aren't going to invite each other for coffee, for breakfast, or for lunch. The final score here at the San Diego Sports Arena, the Sockers 7, the Strikers 4. Stay with us for our post-game comments.